Kons podcast.
Hate me, don't you?
Hit that like button, subscribe and share.
Hate me, don't you? Hate me, don't you?
Constant content.
Yeah. Thank you for the round of applause. Thank you for the round of applause. You know what I'm saying? It's Kons podcast. You know what it is. Yeah, it's Friday. You know what I'm saying? The weekend. So today we're going to get into some TikToks. You know what I mean? Watch some TikToks and shit. Hopefully they all pass the checks on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I'll get into some TikToks and shit today for episode 112. You know what I mean? Episode 112. We'll get to TikToks. They all gonna be conspiracy based. You know what I'm saying? I definitely looked up some conspiracy ones, downloaded a few. So, you know what I'm saying? In this episode, we're just gonna go through a few of them. Hopefully y'all enjoy it. Feel me? Roll your tree up, sit back, relax. You know what I'm saying? Fire that shit up. We're gonna go over these motherfucking TikToks, you feel me? All conspiracy based. But how y'all doing though? You know what I'm saying? Before we get into this, hope y'all doing all right. It's the weekend, you feel me? So everybody should be hype about that. Friday. Hopefully you ain't got to get up tomorrow, take no kids to school, go to work. Hopefully you ain't got to do none of that. Hopefully you can relax, you feel me? It's Friday, tomorrow's Saturday. So hopefully everybody off and everybody gonna be kicking and chilling and shit. Let's get into it. The first one from the podcast Ninjas of Butterflies. If y'all know about them, check them out. They touch on a lot of shit, conspiracy-based shit, you know what I mean? But yeah, let's check this first one out.
We were talking about the conspiracy around the hurricane stuff.
Yep.
Yes. Literally after we stopped filming it, I saw like 10 or so posts talking about this area in North Carolina that is one of the world's largest deposits of lithium.
Oh gosh.
And it's in a residential zone.
Yeah, you can't mine it.
And they've gone to these people supposedly and said, we'd like to purchase your land. And they all refused.
Are you kidding me?
And now that exact same spot is
Wiped out.
This is Maui all over again.
it's lithium rich in this area that was wiped out.
And so now we have to keep an eye on that area because what the flip are they going to do there, dude?
But yeah,
Yeah.
people won't be able to afford to rebuild, so if
Yeah.
someone can come in and cover like the remaining mortgage, families will go somewhere else and start over. leaving
Yeah.
the land.
That was one I heard and shit, a little conspiracy. I heard about the lithium facilities or mines or whatever that people got where they mining for this lithium, and apparently it's a spot in North Carolina that's like rich in that shit. That got a lot of that shit. And you know, this is the path that the hurricane took. You know what I'm saying? So they fucked up a lot of land. The conspiracy is in order for them to rebuild on it and start mining for that lithium and shit. You know what I'm saying? They rich with it out there, supposedly. You know what I mean? North Carolina. So yeah, this next one featuring your boy Elon Musk. You always know we already know he got some crazy ass nut ass shit to say. You know what I'm saying? Let's check it out.
Disturbing pink hair theory.
No, I don't.
Have you ever noticed how many celebrities suddenly start dyeing their hair pink? But what if I told you it might be a sign of something much darker? There's a disturbing theory that links this change to something they don't want us to know. These celebrities went through horrible times right after changing their hair color. Justin Bieber, who has opened up about his past traumas, Rihanna, who was a victim of Katy Perry, and Demi Lovato, who have battled depression and addiction. Could pink hair be a silent cry for help? Is it their way of expressing something they can't say out loud? These people went through hell, and they dyed their hair pink, right when they were at the peak of their struggles. And now for the scariest part, many of them have connections to a name that keeps coming up in multiple investigations. Diddy. What do all these celebrities have to do with him? Justin and Hailey Bieber, Rihanna, Jade and Kylie Jenner, they've all been seen with Diddy at some point. But why? After getting close to him, something changes. Could Diddy be involved somehow? He's connected to so many dark secrets in the industry. Is he the common link behind all these tragedies? Why did they switch to that color? Did they go through something traumatic that we don't know about? This theory suggests that pink hair might be a hidden scream, a desperate cry for someone to listen. But if it's true, who is paying attention? Comment pink hair if you think these stories deserve
That one, you're talking about pink hair theory. I didn't heard this shit before. But the shit I heard was about the blonde hair. You know what I'm saying? All these celebrities was all of a sudden dyeing their hair blonde. Almost every celebrity you could think of, especially in the music industry, done had some blonde hair at some point in time. You know what I'm saying? The pink hair is new to me. I haven't heard about the pink hair theory, but it make a whole lot of sense, just like the blonde hair theory. I mean, just think, we done seen Katy Perry. I'll throw a few pictures up on this shit. Katy Perry, Bow Wow, Chris Brown, Justin Bieber, Eminem, You know, all these people, Nicki Minaj, Pink, all these people dyed their hair blonde at some point. You know what I'm saying? Even the men. There's definitely some kind of sign within the industry for sure. Just the same shit like he's saying about the pink hair. I done heard about this shit before. You know what I mean? For sure. Especially Elon Musk saying it. Yeah, this one's talking about different occult knowledge and shit that these celebrities be using. This is an old clip of Jay-Z when he was on the Breakfast Club, and he was asking about the symbolism on his chain that he got. You know, and you could tell Jay-Z brushing the shit off and all that shit. But yeah, if you know, you know. You know what I mean? Check it out.
If you walk around with that chain all day, people gonna be asking you, what's the science? What's today's mathematics?
Yeah. By the way, this isn't even my chain. I stole it from somebody. Yeah, I'll tell y'all who that was off camera.
Uh-oh.
Stealing chains now? Is it going world star?
Not really stealing.
Does it mean anything to you, though?
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm with you. I don't like the conversation either. It's like, I call myself the God because I feel like it sometimes. I study a little lessons, but I'm not into all, you know.
Yeah. Religion is like a personal computer, you know. You let people in if you want to.
But in Long Island, they had the gods and the earths, you know, like the 5% Nation, the Nation of Islam. It's not the same thing, but affiliated in a way. It always was intriguing to me because they was out there hustling and doing their thing, but at the same time, they had a lot of knowledge. I had a group of friends in school, and we were all interested in this information, and we were actually cut out of school to go to the library because we realized that school wasn't teaching us about the history of our culture and our people. I had bumped into some other books that these Muslim brothers used to sell on the streets. The author was Dr. Malachi Z. York. His books just opened my eyes even wider. Simple things like when you say amen after you pray, like where does that come from? Like the origin of the Bible, the origin of the Quran. And I came across the word Illuminati. I wanted to put what I was learning into the music, but I didn't want to turn the fans off. So I decided to plant seeds.
About a year later, after this song comes out, Jay-Z drops his debut Reasonable Doubt, and on it he has a song called The Evils. What is the Illuminati? Like, if you could break down what it is that we're actually talking about when we say Illuminati.
It's a group that was formed like in the 1700s, something like that, 1600s. This dude named Adam Weishaupt. He started this group of people, like powerful, rich people that basically could shape popular opinion and the way, you know, the world is gonna move forward. The word means like the illuminated ones. Light is like information. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you see the light now. I found out the origin of the information that they were teaching. It basically comes from this group called the Essenes in Egypt. These are like the original black culture. They're like the scholars, doctors, scientists, esoteric thinkers, and they just knew how to do stuff. Like, for example, look at the pyramids. Nobody understands how the pyramids were built. These are the people that had that knowledge. Eye of Horus, the pyramid, those are artifacts and things from black culture. They represent certain things of our people from ancient black history of Egypt. You know what I mean? Ancient Egypt. You got these group of people, they break into the tombs, they steal the riches like the gold and the mummies, and they rape and pillage our culture. They got you thinking your own people and your own artifacts and your own symbolism is.
So that was Prodigy. You heard what he was saying. Said he came across a group called Illuminati. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he was on before he passed away. You know what I'm saying? He even got a song called Illuminati. Illuminati, what your mind, soul, and your body. Secret society, trying to keep that eye on me. I mean, I don't know if you heard that, but look it up. You know what I'm saying? It's called Illuminati. Prodigy was on some shit. You definitely, before he died, you know what I mean? He was on some shit for sure. You know what I'm saying? And he mentioned Adam Weishaupt. Yeah, that's crazy. That dude, Adam Weishaupt, he is the dude who he started Freemasons. I believe that's the nigga that started Freemasons, Adam Weishaupt. This dude right here. You know what I'm saying? That's Adam Weishaupt. He started the Freemasons and yeah, sparked off a whole generations and generations, a whole bunch of behind the scenes shit. That's for sure. And Prodigy was hip to that shit for sure. Another Elon Musk one. This one is Elon Musk talking about the Sahara Desert. Check it out.
Did you know that the Sahara Desert finally flooded and the prophecy in the Bible about the flood in Sahara is getting true?
No way.
So Sahara Desert flooded recently, and the meteorologist said that this was an extratropical storm that they haven't seen in like 50 years. And you know why it's going to affect the Sahara now? Because now since it's flooded and there's water around, there's moisture, there's going to be more moisture, it's going to affect the climate, and it changed all the animals there. Yeah, it changed all the animals and stuff like that. So like what the Bible says, there's a prophecy. It says, I will open rivers on the barren heights and fountains in the middle of the valleys. I will turn the desert into a pool of water and the dry land into flowing springs. Yeah, and it just happened. Sahara Desert has been drought for like some years, because that's a desert. And the Bible's prophecy made it flooded. So do you think all the Diddy stuff, all the hurricane stuff is just a distraction? That's the real conspiracies going on. I feel like there's never a way to know, but I think you can know something's a distraction when it's played too much in front of you. It's really crazy.
So that was Elon Musk talking about the Sahara Desert being flooded. That shit crazy. I don't know. I never heard of that one, but you know what I'm saying? Man, you can't put nothing past this government and the shit they do and the shit they implement onto society. You can't put nothing past that shit, because they don't give a fuck. They let everything out. They no holds barred. You know what I mean? Yeah. But that was Elon Musk talking about the Sahara Desert and shit. You heard him. This video right here is a little crazy, talking about clones and shit. You know what I mean? They had these two football players. You know what I'm saying? They laid down and they literally like they got up the exact same way. I mean, it's weird looking. It's almost like he was in front of a mirror, but it was like another player. Like, I don't know, this shit weird. It's like the first clip. They go through a bunch of clips in this video, but yeah. Check it out.
Unloads, pass is caught, and then a big hit delivered.
Drop for Taylor. Gonna go deep down the far sideline. It is incomplete off the fingertips of Zay Jones.
Osweiler protected. Yate for Breeze. Going to the air again and going deep downfield. And the pass caught by Joseph Morgan. And Morgan gets over for the touchdown.
Joe Morgan goes right by him. Touchdown, Saints.
Only the third catch of the year for Morgan, but he earlier caught an 80-yard touchdown pass from Drew Brees. A 48-yarder to Morgan as Brees goes deep.
What a great job of staying up on his feet.
Carr completes it to Zay Jones. First and goal.
That could only be the musical stylings of Victor Oladipo, who is the reigning two-time champion of the All-Star Weekend player talent show.
You are talented. I give you a little credit on that. A lot of credit. You're very talented. I mean, you're not a karaoke guy like me, but you can ask. You know they call me Old Brown Eyes, right?
As a matter of fact, you both have experience singing New York, New York. His was at the Slam Dunk Contest. Yours was in Vegas.
Yes.
We had the show out there. Here's just a little sampling.
Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it in old New York. I want to wake up. So I love to do karaoke. That's good, isn't it?
You see those two mics back there?
You made up your own words.
You see those?
Wait, that was the words in old New York? Yeah.
The long-awaited.
At one point, maybe you were thinking, maybe you were even willing to accept that you might have gotten cut by the team.
Yeah, a lot of ups and downs. This year. But it's been a heck of a ride, to be honest. I really can't complain. Yeah, I was kind of I was a little down. I found out I was injured and I had to have surgery again, or with another knee. But at the end of the day, I have amazing teammates. Guys like Draymond, everybody on this team, they come over there, they wrap their hands around me like, yo, we got you. And that's very comforting to me. And
This happened a while ago, but we have to address it. Okay? You went viral during the finals, in which you did not move.
Still Warriors ball with 8 to shoot. We've got the American Express halftime report coming up. They're ready to go. Chauncey, Jalen, Michelle, and Paul. Talk about what happened here in the first half of Game 2.
Don't let people know that I actually pay attention to my job. I'm serious about it. For all young journalists, all athletes that want to get into this business, I know y'all see us a lot shucking and jiving and laughing and joking, but I'm actually paying attention. I'm concentrating. And I'm about to go on television and talk about that.
Another thing people don't know about Jalen Rose. Great team player.
Carr completes it to Zay Jones. First and goal.
Caught, and then a big hit delivered.
Drop the Taylor. Gonna go deep down the far sideline. It is incomplete off the fingertips of Zay Jones.
So that video crazy, you feel me? Talk about the clones, niggas getting up the exact same time. Niggas is getting up off the ground looking like somebody hit the rewind button. That shit weird. You got niggas freezing. I've seen that shit and heard about that shit before too. Niggas is just fucking freezing in time. You feel me? It's a wrestler that was doing that same shit, just fucking frozen. I mean, not moving. I don't know. People all around him going like this, touching him and shit. He just fucking frozen. You seen Shaq had did that. Jalen Rose had did that. I don't know what that shit is, and I don't know what it means, but either somebody motherfucking hit the off button on these niggas, or somebody done hit these niggas with a sequence of motherfucking buttons on their body and made them freeze or something, or somebody remotely controlling them from a base somewhere. I don't know. And hit the pause button. I don't know. You feel me? But it's weird that you on camera working at your job. You know what I'm saying? And you're just fucking froze. Shaq had did the same shit. What a ill ass that type of look on his face, you know. I don't know. That shit is fucking weird. I've seen this shit before. I don't get it. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know why they do that shit. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of celebrities you could look up that just be fucking freezing like that. I don't know. Not a lot of them, but definitely a select few. You can Google that shit and see. I don't get it. I don't know why that is. This shit weird. Yeah, but the industry is weird. We know that. You know what I'm saying? The industry full of a bunch of weirdo shit, weird ass niggas, rich niggas who think they can get away with murder. You know? Yeah. Oh, so this one's talking about a portal and shit. See if there's evidence of it. Let's check this video out. Check this one out.
My name is Trey Hudson, and I think we've captured footage of a portal, a gateway or doorway into somewhere or something else. I'm a researcher, and I've always been interested in things of high strangeness, be it UFOs, cryptids, things like that. I have a team, and my team is made up of engineers, professional people. We've been investigating and researching since 2017. It's a place we call the Meadow. There's a lot of folklore in that area. That region is known for high strangeness. There are numerous reports of paranormal occurrences. So on 11 February 2017, we decided we were going to set up in the Meadow, equipped with thermal and night vision.
Oh, there they are.
We see you. We had clear visibility. We know what our teammates look like on thermal. We're used to seeing them at various distances, so we know what a human being size thing looks like.
Continue heading toward the entrance of the meadow. Just stay right on the edge of the wood line.
So we received a radio transmission from one of our teams on the east end of the meadow, and they said, hey, we have something happening here. You need to come over and check it out.
See the square box? You see the X beside it, or the cross? See the cross forming?
I got over there, and they said they started seeing on their thermals boxes forming in different places in the meadow.
Halt. You're right on the edge, but it is fading away. It's at least 25 foot tall.
So this was interesting because cubes and boxes are something that you see at other places of high strangeness. It's like a reoccurring theme.
You're recording, sorry.
Right.
The team, when they went to the area where this cube or box was formed, they completely disappeared off our thermal.
I can't see them.
Did they just disappear?
What my team reported when they entered into this area is a temperature drop. Things were chilly, things were cold, and it was very dark and still, like being inside of a black velvet bag or inside of a blackout curtain.
Team 3, what is your location? It's completely faded away now, it's gone.
It's odd because this area, there really wasn't anything that would completely block and obliterate their heat signature. That's just not something that was possible. The wildest explanation is they actually weren't there. They were somewhere else.
All right, there they are.
I think they walked into a
So this right here is weird. I've never seen footage like this. I don't know. It definitely, you see them niggas walk into that shit where he said the sound was coming from, and they just disappeared. And that's a thermal. You feel me? That's a thermal vision you looking at. That's picking up heat. And they just literally disappeared when they walked into that circle he's talking about. I don't know. That shit different. You know what I'm saying? I believe portals is something for real though. You know what I'm saying? But I just ain't really seen no hard footage. I've heard stories through Reddit and stories that different people put out on the internet, like this nigga here in the video you just seen. But yeah, I don't know. Portals is different. That's a whole new different tech. I do understand what CERN is though. They do have a facility where they are researching a collision of particles. You know what I mean? That's pretty much what CERN is. But for lack of better words, you know what I'm saying, it's pretty much a facility where they are researching how to open up a portal. That's pretty much what CERN is. You ain't never heard of CERN. This was dope though. I ain't never seen no shit like this one. Yeah, I never seen footage like that. That's some pretty compelling stuff for real. Yeah, it's pretty compelling. You know what I mean? This one was about Epstein. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the Epstein Island, shit like that. Check it out.
All the potential news coming out about Jeffrey Epstein. Let's talk about the cartoon that came out in the 1940s that basically predicted Epstein Island. So we might as well call this The Truth Hidden in Movies Part 7. The movie that I'm talking about is a movie released in February of 1940. And if you haven't guessed it already, it's a popular Disney movie by the name of Pinocchio. Just like many Disney movies, this movie started off very child-friendly and then takes a very sinister turn when this guy talks about taking children to Pleasure Island. The end makes it sound very similar to Epstein Island. Make sure y'all pay attention to what he's saying and y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Viewer discretion is advised.
How would you blokes like to make some real money? Well, and who do we have to, No, nothing like that. I'm collecting stupid little boys. Stupid little boys. You know, the disobedient ones, what Pinocchio's called. And I take them to Pleasure Island. Pleasure Island. Pleasure Island? But the law, suppose they... No, there's no risk. They never come back. And boy!
This cartoon, man. What? Nigga said he take little boys. Yo, what the fuck? He take them to Pleasure Island. Man, that shit crazy. And this is a cartoon? So this is applying to children? And children are supposed to be watched. This is in the 40s at that. This ain't even new. That's crazy to even put that in the script of a cartoon, yo. He said, I captured, what he say? Captured little boys, take them to Pleasure Island, while he dumping money on the table. Man, that shit crazy as fuck right there. You know what I'm saying? Wild as shit. Yeah, that Epstein shit, wild. You know, Nickelodeon splat, man, shit. The same framework of the Epstein Island is crazy work. That shit is nasty work right there for sure. Oh yeah, okay. So this next one is talking about if the NBA is scripting the shit. Now, Funny Marco went on Shaq's podcast and pretty much was like, did y'all know y'all was gonna be playing Indiana in the finals and shit that year? You know what I'm saying? And Shaq man, he came out and was like, yeah, I don't know if he was joking. It don't seem like he was, but I mean, he said that shit pretty serious. You know what I mean? Phil said, yeah, get us hotels in Indiana. This was way before the finals. He said, check this shit out.
Oh, your rings real?
No.
Oh. So it was scripted. You knew you was getting them.
Of course, all day, every day.
Yeah. So y'all knew you was getting them that year.
I did.
Yeah.
It was a script. True story. I never told the story. In the first round, my first championship, in the first round, I forget who we were playing. I hear Phil Jackson tell Gary Vitti, hey, get us some hotels in Indiana, because that's where we're going to play in the finals. This was like before game one in the finals, and like it didn't hit me until we got to Indiana.
Or maybe he just knew that they were the best team in the East.
I don't know. I'm just telling you what I heard the man say. We haven't even played one game yet. They were back to me. He's like, yeah, get us some, hotel rooms in Indiana. I don't want to stay in Indiana. I want to stay on the, outside of Indiana.
Are you happy they cast you in the role of Shaquille O'Neal?
Yes, I'm very, very happy. And I'm glad we beat Reggie Miller.
Yeah, you see that? And that is the role of Shaquille O'Neal. I'm very, very happy I was selected for that. Like, what? Yeah, he just blatantly saying this shit. Now, I don't know if he knows it's not going to be taken serious or I don't know, but that's some shit to be coming out and saying, you know what I mean? As far as everybody think it's a conspiracy and don't nobody really believe in that shit. You know what I mean? It's only a select few who really think that the NBA and shit is scripted and shit like that. But nigga, you just said it flat out. Like, yeah, Phil knew already that there was going to be playing Indiana. He had a reserve set up hotels and shit in Indiana long before the playoffs came. So I don't know, you know what I mean? He said the shit. He said, of course. So it's scripted. You knew you was, of course. He said, like, what, nigga? Do you know that is groundbreaking? What you are saying, Shaq? Like that's some groundbreaking shit. You know what I mean? That's for sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's some information that just hear people come out and say that shit about a conspiracy and just confirm it like that, just like it's nothing. Yeah, that shit was crazy. You know what I mean? Okay, yeah. So this next video was talking about conspiracy. How you can say anything is a conspiracy because you can't necessarily prove it. You know what I mean?
People don't even know what conspiracies are.
That's the easiest shit for somebody to prove, because they don't have to prove nothing.
Right.
They just have to say, and my lawyer explained it like this to me. If you say y'all want to go rob a bank and y'all agree to rob a bank, that's conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has to physically go to the bank. You don't even got to go to the bank.
Right.
If you are on the phone talking about A and B gonna go rob a bank and y'all say, okay, that's cool, and come up with a plan, y'all don't even have to see the plan all the way through. That's conspiracy. And it's like you said, on the fringes, from standing next to a nigga, from being in a picture with a nigga.
Yeah.
For, you know what I'm saying? You and this nigga wearing the same chain,
yeah.
or y'all chain got the same initials on
yeah.
it, and now y'all a gang. And they gonna box you in.
Yeah.
Like they don't have a 98 point whatever conviction rate for nothing.
Yeah.
They gonna box you in.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, either you gonna stand on business or you gonna fold. Those are your only two options. You not beating the feds.
You not.
They locked Martha Stewart up. She was at my camp, you know. They don't care nothing about none of that. You would have told me introducing two niggas together was gonna put me in a conspiracy with all the other stuff that I had going on. You gotta find your own conspiracy.
Yeah. You know, breaking down what conspiracy is and that charge at that. You know what I mean? She said they don't give a fuck. They locked Martha Stewart up. I should tell you for sure. They don't give a fuck. They will. She said they locked up Martha Stewart. They sure fuck dead too. And that shit got her notoriety too. She became a thug after start doing shit with Snoop and shit. Yo, so yeah, if you like this content, hit that subscribe button. Hit the share button, like this shit, comment on this shit, all that shit. If you fucking with Kons Podcast and you fuck with the constant content, be sure to subscribe. Let's get back to the video, to the episode. Martha Stewart was thugging out here. You got a glimpse of that thug life. Well, this one here is about talking about giants, the Nephilim, you feel me? If they really exist or not. This is supposed to be somebody who's seen a giant peek out of a giant stone wall and shit. You know what I mean? What y'all think about giants, man? Y'all think we living amongst some 10 feet tall motherfuckers who still living and shit? Or did they used to live? What y'all feel like? I think definitely for sure. I mean, they done found bones, you feel me? Shin bones that was taller than man, 6 feet, you know? A shin bone, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? The bones will prove it. The bones prove it enough. I've seen the pictures of the Nephilim bones and giant ass bones and shit like that, you know what I mean? I've definitely seen that shit. So, it's kind of hard not to believe for real. I mean, fossils, but we don't know though. Fossils could be fabricated too, you know what I mean? We don't know, man. With this world and the government we live in, we don't know, man. They'll put anything in your fucking mind that they want you to motherfucking believe. But yeah, check it out.
We see evidence of giants everywhere and just continue to ignore it. Like this guy who just recently saw a giant peeking through and closing a stone door in some cliff rocks up in Oregon, and he's definitely not the first. Have a look at this. Petroglyph cave paintings all around the world, over 15,000 years old. Giants. Ancient Indian mythology had the Vedas beings, which were over 32 feet tall. In the Old Testament, we got the Nephilim, especially in the Book of Enoch. The Quran had the people of Ad, a nation of giants. Ancient Egyptians had their carvings and drawings of extremely large people in chairs and carrying megalithic stones. Mayans and Aztecs across the ocean in Central America had their own depictions of towering humans. And the Sumerians, well, they had the Anunnaki, winged beings 12 to 15 feet tall. And I promise that video is coming. That came down from the sky, bred with humans, and gave birth to giants. And this particular story formula here has been repeated in so many of these ancient civilizations' lore. And then we actually started finding them. Hundreds of skeletons of these supposed mythical giant creatures uncovered all over the world, most notably in North America. Found all over the US and even into Canada and Mexico, carbon dating analyses showed that these remains were much older than even the native indigenous people. And even these Native American tribes who had zero contact with the Egyptians and the Sumerians had their own legends of a time when enormous humans roamed the earth. Like the Choctaw tribe in present-day Mississippi had stories of the Nahulo, a race of giants that ate humans, another common characteristic among these stories. And there's the Native American myth from the Paiute tribe of red-haired giants called the Siteka that also ate humans, who according to legend were burned alive in Lovelock Cave, Nevada after a long battle. The cave was even excavated and findings were published in 1929 that reported enormous handprints on the wall, Paleolithic artifacts, human bones with the marrow removed, which could be an indicator of cannibalism, a size 29 sandal, which would belong to someone at least 8 feet tall, massive clothing, and finally mummified remains of a female skeleton 7 feet tall and a male 9 feet tall were also found, both with red hair. Checkaroo, that sounds like giants to me. What's crazy is that's literally only the tip, so let me show you the whole shaft. 1833, a sarcophagus unearthed in Lompoc Rancho, California, 12 feet long with an intact skeleton inside. 1870, an article in the Oil City Times reported an 18-foot skeleton discovered in West Hickory, Pennsylvania. 1872, a New York Times report of giant skeletons with 2 rows of teeth found near Serpent Mound, Ohio. 1913, skulls of giant human skeletons that would have been 10 feet tall found in Ozark Caves, Arkansas. Esteemed professors like this guy, Thomas Wilson, who worked for the Smithsonian, even stated, the authenticity of these finds were beyond any doubt. But of course, do some Google debunking yourself and it'll tell you every one of these reports was a hoax. Yeah, because there were over 1,000 accounts of these giant remains found all over North America and every single one of them was just a prank, right? I mean, they were actually finding skeletons in the ground and had tangible proof, so let's just take a look at the bones and we can lay this one to rest. The newspaper articles, journals, town histories and such that outline these finds cite a common recipient of these remains, the Smithsonian, the world-leading museum education and research institution created by the good old U.S. government. Groundbreaking discoveries about human history? Of course we can trust the government to tell us the truth, but actually, for the longest time, no one ever suspected any sketchy business from federal agencies until some sketchy business started happening. In 1892, more wooden coffins measuring up to 12 feet long were discovered in Crump's Cave, Alabama, and were sent to the Smithsonian as with everything else. More than 50 years went by and they never said anything about them. So in 1950, a researcher pulls out the good old Freedom of Information card and basically asks them, hey yo, where they at? Smithsonian hits him back with, our records show that we got them, but we can't seem to find it. Kinda like NASA overwriting the tapes of the original moon landing, huh? Then again, in 1992, another researcher asks, and finally, after 100 years since the original find, he's told that the coffins weren't coffins, but food troughs for feeding cattle from a time period in which animal domestication wasn't even practiced in North America. And when he asked if he could see it, they told him it was in a warehouse that was contaminated with asbestos for 10 years. Yeah, this is the real documented story, which they probably could have gotten away with if it wasn't for the good old internet. Hey, he tried as best as he can, right? So basically, the Smithsonian has all the bones, which are technically native cultural artifacts. But hey, I got some good news that could finally show us the actual truth once and for all. Back in 1990, the U.S. passed a law stating that federal agencies must return all native cultural artifacts back to their tribes upon request. Well, hot diggity dang, if that sounds too good to be true, it is. If you look into this act on the U.S. government official website, a fine print subsection clause from the law itself explicitly states that the Smithsonian is exempt from this act. Man, it really don't get any more bait than that. This is some evil genius shit. If you don't know what to think of this, let me remind you of a famous quote from Ronald Reagan. The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government, and I'm here to help."
The 9 most terrifying words to hear from a government official is, "I'm from the government, and I'm here to help." That shit's an oxymoron. It is not here to help. That shit crazy. But yeah, that shit crazy though. You know what I'm saying? The giant theory. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I think they for real live though. You know what I mean? I don't know. You just never know. I ain't seen it for myself, so it's always gonna be left with, I just don't know. But as far as I'm judging off the footage and shit and conspiracies and shit I've seen based around it, it seemed pretty real. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, man, they found them fossils and shit, bones and shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know? Yeah. I'm not sure on that one. I don't know what to believe on that one. Oh yeah, so this is Billy Carson. If y'all don't know Billy Carson, he is definitely a dude who real knowledgeable, talk about a whole bunch of shit, rabbit holes, go down rabbit holes and all that shit. Billy Carson, Forbidden Knowledge is what one of his little, I think his YouTube channel is called. But yeah, he's talking about how you never see like cell phones and shit in dreams and shit. And I had to think like, you know what? I don't think so for real. I don't think I've ever, you know, I had to think real hard, and I don't think I've ever had a dream where I was like using my cell phone or even holding it. Not that I could remember. So it was interesting to hear him say this shit. Check it out.
Scary. Isn't it weird how we all use our phones 24/7, but we never see them or use them in our dreams? Even all the other technologies like TVs and laptops, you just won't see them in a dream. Some people think that this proves that we're actually living inside a simulation because something is stopping you from seeing something on your unconscious level.
Yeah, so that goes with the simulation theory. People think we living in a simulation. I don't know how true that is, but like I said, it's a lot of shit that'll lead to that, that'll show you that, you know what I'm saying, we living in a simulation type shit. It's a lot of shit that tells you, or the evidence will prove that we living in some type of simulation. You know what I mean? Look at the shit that we just seen with the sports and shit. Niggas getting up, like niggas push the rewind button and shit. You know what I mean? 2 niggas getting up the exact same way, and them dudes probably wasn't even related. You know, so I don't know. This is a bunch of shit. I don't know. You just never know. You just never know. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this next video is you know what I'm saying? I had seen this shit a while ago. About this alien that they had like captured, and so I saved this one specifically for last. I've seen it, and I say this one for the last one. So yeah, it's this alien they captured. I even think he had a name at one point in time, but I forgot what they named him. But they were communicating with this alien and talking to him and shit through telepathy, what I thought. But this dude in the video said it was called something else, forethought or something like that. He said, you're gonna see it. But yeah, I remember this video though, and I thought they kind of removed it from the internet because it's kind of hard to find. But I'm glad I came across this shit now though. So this dude is talking all about it in the video and shit, and I don't know, the footage is crazy. It's the most craziest footage I've ever seen of an alien, like in your face, right on camera, not hiding, not a glimpse of them. Like this is really in you know, look like it might be a short gray. You know, I don't know, but and then he got like sick. You could see like the staff tending to him, wiping his mouth and shit. I don't know. It seems very real. Check it out. Check it out, yo. Like I said, this video is the last one. It's like 10 minutes, just to tell you that now. So, you know what I mean? Light up. If you ain't already lit up, pull up, you know, sit back and check this shit out. You know what I mean? Yeah. Check this shit out.
The film that you are about to see is jaw-dropping, and it was passed over by the New York Times. The New York Times had an opportunity to run this story, and they didn't. We're going to show you this unbelievable film in just a moment. But what's more astonishing, however, might be the cover-up and the secrecy of this top-secret film. My guest today is Jon Stewart, former candidate for Illinois governor in U.S. Congress. He spent more than 5 years investigating, proving the provenance of this alleged film, this top-secret film, which we're about to show you, and which you are about to see. And it purportedly shows an alien, an extraterrestrial, biological entity being interrogated at the S2 facility in 1997 by members of the U.S. military. Yes, an alien creature being interrogated by members of the U.S. military. Just a few weeks ago, our guest, Jon Stewart, hand-delivered his entire investigation to Congressman Tim Burchett's office, and he's become the first non-government civilian to submit a report to the United States Congress regarding the extraterrestrial phenomenon. Jon, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you here on Redacted.
Like most people back in 1997, this was part of, or this was a documentary that came out. I go to sit down and watch this documentary thinking alien interview. This is going to be like a weird humanoid looking person handing a clipboard over to a general at the Pentagon for a job interview. I mean, this is how my brain was thinking. And I'm sitting down, and 30 minutes into this documentary, this footage comes on. It's not professionally done. It doesn't have any cuts. There's people in the foreshadow. This gray alien is bone color, bone, like human bone. It's got round eyes, not almond-shaped eyes. If I'm hoaxing a video of a gray alien, it's going to be gray, and it's going to have the typical almond eyes. And this bizarre physiological monitor next to the beam that goes up and down and not across the screen. And then Victor, the alleged whistleblower who claimed to have helped smuggle this out of Area 51, that's the way insiders talk of Area 51. And I don't think a 23-year-old screenwriter in 96 could have made up this script that Victor was talking about. I mean, the vernacular he used was bizarre, and he used a term called medical flagging. The creature starts to medically flag. And I asked my old doctor, who was about 65 years old at the time in 97, on my annual checkup, I said, what is medically flagging? He looked at me, he goes, where did you hear that from? That's like a Army medical term we used in the 50s and 60s. I'm like, wait a minute, what is going on here? And then there was an acronym on the bottom, DNI, David November Igloo /27. And Victor tells us that was the Department of Naval Intelligence. So I run for Congress 2 years later with this film in the back of my mind going, what is going on here? And I don't want to say his name anymore because I'm getting admonished for doing so, but I was on a political bus tour, and I went up to a senator during a break, and who has passed away now. And I said, Senator, what is the Department of Naval Intelligence? And Clayton, you look in my eyes. This guy went from jovial, happy senator to this aggressive look. And he looked at me and goes, you don't need to know anything about that. And he stormed off, and he never talked to me the rest of the tour. Clayton, you're a journalist. You're an investigative reporter, too. I'm thinking, wait a minute. I got a hoaxed video with medical terminology from 50s and 60s. I've got a gray alien that's tan and round eyes. Medical staff that are in short sleeve scrubs and not in biohazard suits to really hype up the video. I've got a monitor that I have never seen in 35 years of my life back then. And I've got 3 letters on this hoaxed video that has just pissed off a United States senator. What in God's name is going on with this film?
So here it is. This is, again, it's silence. There's no audio on this. What are we looking at here as we play this film? What are we seeing on our screen, Jon?
Okay. Contrary to Victor's voiceover, this is a film shot April of 1991, a thought projection interview of a other gray, designated an other gray, an extraterrestrial biological entity He is a haploid, which means he came with only one sexual chromosome. Human beings are diploids. For any microbiologists out there, if I'm hatcheting those words, I'm sorry. But this being had only one sexual chromosome. He came to the S2 alpha, the official designation of the underground facility that housed the Alien Interrogation and Retention Program. That's the unofficial name of what this was. They call these interview suites the ambassador suites because the government did try for the care and did treat these and look at these beings and still do as ambassadors from other planets and other dimensions. And if you hear David Grush coughing on his words, it's because he doesn't want to tell you that some of these beings are from other dimensions. And though this being was very ill at the time, he had a respiratory issue. Now, Sean David Morton also heard, I can't verify this veracity, that it's some sort of debilitation or disease with its heart-lung sac. It does not have a traditional heart. It's got a heart-lung one sac, which was the need for the special monitor, which goes up and down, does not go across, to monitor this bizarre heart-lung one sac organ that the alien has. And behind the viewing glass were 5 men, 2 telepaths. There is a researcher out there, but that's how bizarre this film has gotten. And I'm not even going to tell you anything about the telepaths because I don't want it to get into the Da Vinci Code. But even Doty said that the telepathic program, the people they hired, was ridiculous. They were like one step above 1-800 psychics back in the 80s and 90s. But there was 2 men in particular that were very in touch with these beings, and they would sit down with these aliens and these beings and immediately get information and relate it back to whatever military person was in the room. As you can see on the tape, the being eventually starts to medically flag, if I can use the whistleblower Victor's terminology, and he is then attended to by the medical staff. And Victor tells us that the medical staff in S2 and S4, are more chosen for their ability to keep secrets than their medical knowledge. And again, I have been in contact. I have the names of the 2 doctors that are going to be on either side of this beam. On the bottom, you're going to see DNI/27. That is the Department of Naval Intelligence. According to Richard Doty, there's like a conga line of different agencies waiting to insert their questions to this being in the 2-hour-long interview. The interviews are conducted about once a month.
What did you start to piece together from people who were in the room? And so when we say hoaxed video, I think you're saying that was what the assumption you had going into this, that this was hoax. That was sort of the media speculation about this. Now you've proven and taken it to the United States Congress, which, by the way, they're about to hold a hearing on this next week. And I think that this is, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be a big piece of this. And other whistleblowers are now confirmed to be coming forward to Congress next week. Civilian whistleblowers who are going to be testifying of the things that they've been a part of and seen.
Like Linda Moulton Howell told me when she saw the list, you have gold here. Why? No one has ever heard of these people before. And like Linda said, and these people are on Google and are real. And I said, yeah, they are. And she said, son, you got gold here. And so I got the list of names, but I know investigative journalism. That wasn't just enough just to have the names. I mean, come on, that's ridiculous. So I started to vet every single person on the list. The first person was retired, working for TRW, and TRW, these are the men, by the way, who were behind the glass in the viewing gallery watching this thought projection interview. That's what it's called. It's not telepathy. It's actually called thought projection. And the first one worked for TRW, and I said, well, this is a hoax. He wasn't even in the military. Sean David Morton, who was in the office of the production company, who first got the call from Victor saying, I've got this VHS tape of an alien, said, no, TRW is like hand in hand with the government. They do every kind of secret project and whatnot. I said, wow. And Doty said that it was not filmed in S4. There are no alien housing there. The alien housing is in S2 Alpha. And I'm like, what's S2 Alpha? He sent me a satellite photo of it and said, that's what it is. It's called the Alien Retention Program. This being was brought in on a part of Project Kons. Doty's like, I don't know the provenance of the being, but I think it was from the Kalahari crash where 2 beings were recovered. But the alien program, whether that be the retention, the interrogation, the biological reverse engineering of craft, that all is now taking place at Michael's Airfield at the Dugway Proving Grounds. The program to interview the beings in S2 was called Project Aquarius, which was basically all things about aliens in contact with human beings. And that is from the email, and that is also from Richard Doty's mouth, who is verified as the counterintelligence agent who is in his 70s and wants to tell the story, the truth of what's going on and what the government is covering.
So as you seen, you know what I'm saying, in that video, you seen the alien, they showed it. Like they showed him. You seen the people coming wiping off his mouth and shit. You see his clear ass footage. You can see him clear as day. I ain't never seen footage this clear, this clean. Yeah, I don't know. I always felt that shit was crazy looking. I never knew if it was, you know, real or not, but it seems very real. I think this is the most realist type of footage that I've seen. And I've even seen videos where people tried to like debunk it and shit, and it's just not able to be debunked. There's no kind of, what do you call it, modification to the video, no altering of it at all whatsoever. Like I said, this video is old. I've seen this shit like years ago, you know what I mean? And when I came across it, it's definitely mind blown. It's definitely will have your jaw dropped for sure. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think it's some good footage though for sure of that shit. Is it real? I don't know. It seems very fucking real though. Especially he said they brought it to Congress, so they got to be telling you something. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it there though. I hope y'all enjoy watching these motherfucking TikToks. You know what I'm saying? TikToks that will shock you. You feel me? I'm gonna put something like that in the title, like these little reaction TikTokers be doing. You know what I'm saying? TikTok videos that'll shock you, or you know, jaw dropping TikToks. You know what I'm saying? They be trying to put that clickbait into the titles, man. You feel me? But yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? It's all conspiracy based though. You know what I mean? Quick little episode, you know what I'm saying? However long it took, 20, 30 minutes, however long it is, you know what I'm saying? But I fuck with watching these TikToks and shit with y'all though. You know what I mean? It's something that's very easy on the editing side. I can just throw them in there, talk about it real quick, you know what I'm saying? Instead of like watching the video with y'all, like as far as you see me and the video, that's a little harder to do as far as on the edit side. Because mind you, when I'm talking to y'all like this, I don't really see the video. You know what I mean? I may click on it to see what it's about so I can commentary on it and shit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know, I'm throwing these in. You know what I'm saying? In the editing part. You know? Yeah, I got to get some type of program where you can do that shit live though. It's a program out there where motherfuckers is using the shit that you can have shit and drop it in live instead of editing it in after you record type shit. So yeah, you know what I mean? Shout out to my nigga Wayne. He the one that I think he told me about some program, StreamYard or something like that you can do that type of shit with. I ain't even experienced with it yet. But yeah, I hope y'all have a good weekend though. It's Friday the 18th, October 18th. It's 3:40 right now. You know what I mean? I got shit to do today. I got to get to some shit, you know what I mean? And handle some things. But yeah, I hope y'all have a good weekend. It's Kons motherfucking podcast. You already know what it is. Tell somebody about it. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Comment on this shit. Let me know what y'all feel about these TikToks and shit. Hopefully y'all can pass the checks. Hopefully you'll see them all. Yeah. But like I said before, y'all know if I had to delete one, y'all will know for future reference. I said that shit in one of these videos. You know what I mean? But hopefully they all are passed though. You know what I mean? I try not to have too many with the actual author talking and shit. Because that's when they like to copyright shit. So I got about 2 of them in there with the actual authors of the videos talking. So hopefully they'll pass. But yeah, tell somebody about it. You know what I mean? Yeah, tell somebody about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Wherever you at, let them know. You know, if you in your lobby, in the break room, at work, drinking something, you get something to eat or something. You know what I mean? It's going to be other people coming in the break room for sure. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else might be on lunch or something at the same time you on lunch. Tell them about Kons podcast. You feel me? Put it in their ear one time. You know what I'm saying? Tell them about all the shit I talk about. You can even point them to the episode, whatever episode it is, where I talk and tell you all about this channel and what I talk about. You can point them to that shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's Kons motherfucking podcast. Though you already know what it is. Have a good weekend. It's the weekend, so that's something to be hype about. You feel me? Yeah. I hope y'all have a good time. No, it's Kons podcast though. You know what I'm saying? Keep these credit talks for the one time for the one. like button, subscribe, and share.
Hate me, don't you? Gotcha, bitch. Hate me, don't you?
Constant content.
Gotcha, bitch. Hate me, don't you? Hate me, don't you? My hair is snappy, my dick is big, my nose is round and wide. Hate me,
Constant
don't
content.
you? Hate me, don't you? My hair is snappy, my dick is big, my nose is round and wide.
Kons motherfucking podcast.
Hate me, don't you? Hate me, don't you? Hate me, don't you?
Constant motherfucking content.
Hate me, don't you? 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 Hate me, don't you?